pretty self-explanatory. This is a video we produced within the grassroots pipeline. Awareness group, and it speaks for itself.
Hudson River Michigan spill in 2010, where over 1 million gallons were dumped back on the earth. Today, cleanup is still underway, and Enbridge paid $3.7 million in fines for the spill alone.
The pipeline has removed 1,939 acres from the public domain. This includes 905 acres of highly vulnerable wetlands, 262 waterways that cross by the line. Notably, the Wisconsin River is crossed right above the plain, but the waterway becomes the second largest body of inland water in the state, 10th well rate. Current pipeline flow is 400,000 barrels per day. The expected flow by 2016 is 1.2 million barrels per day. The flow rate is in comparison to the 870,000 barrels per day that the Keystone XL line would be capable of. Pressure on the line is currently at 400 pounds per square inch. When phase 2 modifications are completed, the line pressure will be 1,400 pounds per square inch. To accomplish this, Enbridge is building 2 new pumping stations at Sheldon, Russ County, and Vesper, Wood County.
Enbridge's spill record is abysmal. There have been 3 major spills here in Wisconsin since 2007. January 2007, Clark County, 63,000 gallons. February 2007, Russ County, 150,000 gallons, putting groundwater at risk. July 2012, Adams County, 50,400 gallons. Economic gain for Wisconsin is virtually zero. No monies are paid to Wisconsin for the use of the land that the pipeline passes through. Construction crews for the additional pumping facilities will likely be manned by out-of-state contractors with only a few pickup and local laborers. Meanwhile, citizens owning property condemned or adjacent to the pipeline have already seen drastic decreases in their property values.
All right. I think you get the picture. Thank you very much for unseating yourselves for a few minutes. Before I start, Rich, two of the earlier speakers, John Enbridge and also Linda Wyatt, have traveled a long distance to be here, and I wonder whether, when questions come to me, whether or not the three of us can field those questions as the two folks here. I can also ask them to speak, I suppose, but...
If you would like to collaborate, I don't see a problem.
Okay. Thank you very much. My name is Bruce Noble. I'm, as you know, with Grassroots Pipeline Awareness Group, where our charge is to educate those people who live along the path of the Enbridge pipeline through 16 counties. And we have been involved to greater or lesser extents in the 5 counties that have passed resolutions asking for environmental impact statements. I would like to say that this large packet that actually Becky showed you, and she correctly identified it as an environmental assessment. People ought to know, I'm sure this committee actually knows, that environmental assessment is a low-level look at environmental hazards. The real deep investigation comes when you have an environmental impact statement. So that that is what these 5 counties have asked for. And I would like to thank Becky and John for being here. I've heard a lot about you. I think I've seen John before at one of the other meetings, but I haven't met you. So it's nice to have the pleasure, and you had a very nice presentation. I enjoyed watching it. As I say, that we're primarily interested in education. We're a non-political, non-confrontational group of folks that are largely retired people. Now, when I said that earlier today in the radio, actually Linda gave me heck, because she said, I'm not retired, you 2 old guys are. So, but anyway, we do rely on those folks who have paid their dues and are now supposed to be resting. I've thought about changing the name of our group to Corp, because we really are crazy old retired people who have nothing else to do with their time than to go around and educate people about this pipeline. So anyway, could you bring that sack over here for me? Thank you. There are 3 kinds of education, I should say. There's for-profit education, which is not something I particularly care for, because I'm a public school kind of guy. And there's a not-for-profit education, and then there's in-debt education. That's what we participated in with this grassroots group, because we give of our time. When we drive down here, we use our own gasoline, thanks to you, and we even pay $3.17 a gallon here in Gainesville today. Hey, can't beat that. And so we don't stay in a motel tonight. We don't get per diem. We drive back home. These folks are going all the way up to Adams and Wood County. So we're folks that are dedicated. We're thinking about this over the long haul. We think about it in a Native American way. That I know that I won't live to see what we want done. But we want 7 generations beyond us to know that we and you have been working in their behalf to solve this greater climate problem that we find ourselves in. So we take the long road. Education is not quick. We go out, we teach the people. It's like I taught for 40 years in higher education. You know, they come in, you know, they smile to the professor. You give them your material, and they walk out. They can do with it what they want. They can forget about it after the test is over, or they can say, "Hey, maybe that was something. Maybe I ought to get to work on this." So, but we're not trying to twist anybody's arm. We just want everybody to know what's going on. Even though it appears to be hypothetical, I think we have all been sort of assuming that maybe you would be considering, if I can put it that way, a resolution here in Rock County. I know that you will decide for yourselves, based on the information you get, whether or not that pushes forward and goes on to the Board of Supervisors. I just want to call your attention to be able to develop public policy and to be able to protect the health, safety, and welfare of the citizens of this county and the whole state. You must try to develop policy, develop resolutions that speak to their needs. And their needs are health and safety. This is a matter of risk. It's a matter of probabilities. Yes. Actually, Becky said that they spend all of this money on safety, and that pipelines are safer than trucks, trains, or boats. Yeah, sure. The question is not, are the pipelines safer than these other modalities, but are they safe? How safe are they? What percentage of safety? And so that's the kind of thing that we want to concentrate on in our education, and was brought up somewhat in the film. The one thing that has not really been talked about very much is I brought along my jar of tar sands, so you'll be able to see it, because I want to make sure that tar sands is there. And I did have a spoon, so I could spoon this up. I don't know what happened to it. It must have slipped out of my pocket. So anyway, I'll just put my finger in here and show you. This is my tar sand. This is obviously not tar sands, but it's a reasonable facsimile. It's peanut butter. Now, try to suck that through a straw. Try to suck it through a straw. Or try to hang on to it. That's the trouble. Now I'm going to have peanut butter all over me. My wife complains. She says, "You come home from these things, you smell like peanut butter." What the hell have you been doing? I said, "Well, I haven't been hanging out in the bars anyway. I've been going to the peanut butter factory." So anyway, this. Oh, thank you, dear. That is what comes out of the ground in Alberta. That's why it needs to be diluted into dilbit. And we worry about transparency. Now, Enbridge has had the bully pulpit since 1949. And we all been sleeping, and we've been unconscious, and Dad, can I borrow the car tonight? Yeah, can I have some gas? And so, we just go on with our addiction to oil. But now the people are beginning to be awake. Do you think Enbridge would be here tonight if there weren't 5 county resolutions? Why are they here? They don't need to. They got pipelines in the ground. Huh? They feel that the people are getting educated, and they need to counter that in some way. Well, good. I'm glad, because they need to stand up for themselves and to prove and to be transparent about what is carried in these pipelines. So, you won't be able to see this very well, but this is a picture of both Rock and Walworth County and the pipeline that goes through it. You probably noticed this on some of the pictures of the state. And the one thing I want to alert you to is something that's different in Rock County that's not for the whole state. The whole state has 4 pipelines.